Disillusioned by the country's failing education system, a group of concerned parties came together in December last year to form the National Education Collaboration Trust. South Africa is ranked second to last in the world, ahead of war-torn Yemen in maths and science, and ranks 140th out of 144 countries overall. This according to the World Economic Forum's Global Information Technology Report for 2013. The trust aims to bring together all stakeholders to help the government achieve its national goals for education, as outlined in the National Development Plan, or NDP, and the Education Sector Plan. The NDP charts the way for development in the country over the next 30 years in different sectors, such as the economy and education. In an exclusive interview with BD Live, FirstRand CEO Sizwe Nxasana, who is a trustee of the National Education Collaboration Trust, talks about the trust's goals, chief of which is to improve the quality of schooling and the systems for monitoring and supporting schools.
Now, there are very clear targets that are set in the National Development Plan when it comes to education. For instance, today we're producing just over 120,000 students that are finishing matric with university entrances passes in mathematics and science, and the National Development Plan has set a target to increase that number to at least 350,000 in 10 years. Today we have probably about a third of the school districts do not work as they should, and the National Development Plan says in 10 years we should have at least 90% of the districts and schools should be functioning properly and efficiently. So there are very clear targets that are set in the National Development Plan. So I will be very happy as a member of the National Education Collaboration Framework to have achieved or helped achieve those objectives that are set in the NDP.
Nxasana says there are many initiatives aimed at boosting South African education, and the forum also wants to revamp the coordination of private sector funded school improvements so that they are better aligned with the national school reform agenda.
Well, the purpose of the National Education Trust is to bring all different stakeholders together. So the first thing that it will do, it recognizes the role as well as the activities of many stakeholders in supporting education. However, it will create a set of rules and guidelines that say, if you are a corporate or an NGO and you're involved in education, don't stop what you're doing. But if you're supporting government in realizing the improvement in the quality of education, here's how to do it. In other words, you have a number of companies that today are spending a significant amount of money doing great work, but often you find that they work in isolation, they don't coordinate, they don't collaborate, and neither do they work with government in a way that will cause systemic improvement.
Despite the fact that the government is spending 21% of its budget on education, there's been little improvement in the quality of education in the country. The state will be pouring more money into the trust.
Government is putting money into the trust itself, so they've ring-fenced money out of the budgets that are already earmarked for education, and they're going to transfer them, some of the monies, to the trust to really drive the district improvement projects. In other words, we've already, for a start, identified 8 districts which constitute about 4,000 schools that represents just over 2 million students, kids in primary school right up to high school, and really drive the improvement projects that are going to range from professionalizing teaching, making sure that we have school teachers and principals in the right places, and secondly, improving the learning and teaching process in those schools, and thirdly, involving parents to play their role in the lives of their children at school, but also driving the process of improving the capacity of the government to deliver. Whatever it is, it may be delivering books, it may be building and construction, it may be running the food and nutrition program which is run in schools and so on.
Mr. Nxasana says the trust also has a fundraising mandate.
It will also be a platform for raising money from the private sector, unions and civil society for very specific programs. Not many, but few programs that it is going to run, which are going to make sure that we can address some of the critical issues and the challenges that are faced by the country in education.
Reporting for BD Live, I'm Zukiswa Zimela.